Before becoming an educator as a hairstylist, I used to drink all the time. Not all the time, not like an alcoholic or like a problem, but you would catch me at happy hours and anytime we were doing something, a dinner or an outing, there's always drinking involved. So fun, just something to take the edge off. And honestly, Brad and I would connect a lot with happy hours. You just get so overwhelmed and you just want to get out of the house, connect, and happy hour just always seemed so fun. Well, I feel like hair, I figured out, I had my clientele, I had my systems in place that if I was hungover, I was fine. I didn't, and I wasn't even hungover. I just was not as motivated, but I was still functioning, going to the gym, still eating healthy. I still had a great life, but alcohol and happy hours wasted so much of my time. When we were starting Beauty of Wealth, something that I noticed that was a common theme in all of the hairstylists that I really looked up to, there was one thing they all had in common. They were never drinking. Some of them even say how sobriety changed their life and that they didn't drink. And quickly, I needed to show up. And happy hours just didn't make it in the, there was just not enough time for happy hours. And then 2 glasses of wine, I wasn't motivated the next day. I didn't want to come up and show myself in camera or do the content or really anything. I just didn't want to do it. And it was all alcohol. So I had to really make a decision. I was looking up to these mentors that we see in our space, and I was they have it figured out. They don't drink. They don't have time. And it was really, really, really challenging for me to completely change that for me. My family loves wine. We grew up my parents grew up in wine country in California, in Lodi, California, and wine is just such a social pairing with your food. And Brad and I would go to happy hours. I changed my life dramatically, and it was so hard. And it's still hard. I still find it super challenging to not drink, because there are some times where I'm oh my gosh, it would just be so fun to go to happy hour, but I can't. I have to show up for myself and my best self the next morning for our community. And I don't know if you guys ever struggled with this, with becoming sober, and I don't know if it's my generation, but I'm 30, about to be 36, so I feel there was a lot of drinking growing up, and I love that the new generation they don't drink as much, and I love that. They're drinking low alcohol content, a lot of mocktails, and just the benefits of that are just so huge. I feel so much of my time was wasted with drinking, and I didn't even realize it until I got into this space. Do you guys ever feel that is have you guys ever gotten sober? I want to hear your thoughts, because at first I didn't know what to do with my time. What are some of the things that you did? At wine, I really wanted a glass of wine, and that habit of reaching for a glass of wine, I started an adult coloring book. I had to do something with my hands while watching TV, and it took time. But I was so dedicated to our community of Beauty of Wealth, of just making sure the stylists, it was so important to me to make sure that stylists knew that they could have the retirement, they could get out of debt, and I wanted to show them that I really had to stop drinking. And it's so crazy. I'm if some of my friends knew that I would be sober, they would have laughed, because I was always down to get a cocktail, and not say get blacked out drunk all the time, but always down for happy hour, always down for Mark, always down for wine. But the peace that it has come with being sober as a stylist, I can't even describe to you guys, because oh my gosh, I have so much more patience for my clients. I'm in such a better headspace. I can confidently tell them, like, yes and no. The boundaries are clear. I don't get upset about the littlest things. Like, I'm not on edge all the time. And I didn't realize, like, drinking did that to me. Even if it was one glass of wine, the next day I would be on edge for no reason. That's not my client's fault. That was my fault. But it's super interesting because I just made this drastic change because it was so important to me to show stylists that they can do it, because our journey, and it's so crazy to me too that Brad and I were able to come to terms, like, during COVID, that how we wanted to get out of that. Like, oh my gosh, we're in so much debt, we can't work, we can't do anything. We're still drinking. That was so important to us. We could always afford money for wine and champagne. And so it is crazy to me that we did get out of debt and we were able to invest and do all the things while still drinking. Because now looking back, I'm like, there's no way. I can't believe I would tell someone, like, quit the bar tabs, quit wasting your time with the drinks, put the drinks down. Like, that would be my first initial reaction. And also that I'm jealous that they get to drink, because I love drinking. It's so fun. But I just feel like it wasted so much of my time and money. I don't know. How do you guys feel? Like, does anyone else feel like that? Like, when they got out of something, that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wasted that much money. And I can't even tell you, like, I love to go to happy hour. That was our thing. Like, 3 or 4 nights a week. And if we weren't doing happy hour, we were wine pairing with food. I was always having a glass of wine with cooking. And it's just, yeah, I had to look myself in the heart of the mirror and look at what I wanted to change to better the community and what my visions for stylists. Like, I'm really wanting to shake up this industry and know that you guys can have it all. You can be debt free, make that big bass bitch money, and make those investments. Now people are buying buildings to do suites and salons. Like, they didn't think that they were in debt 2 years ago. They're like $30,000 in debt, and now they're making these big girl moves, and it's like, that was worth it to me to become sober. And it is emotional because that is so challenging, but hearing those success stories, and it's like so worth it. And drinking does not take that away from me. I get to celebrate each and every single person, and it just fills my cup much more than drinking. And I just, like, want to, if anyone is struggling with sobriety or wants to get sober or sober friendly, like, DM me. I'm always here to support, because it is challenging and you cannot do it alone. But no, like, if you have goals, you want something for yourself, you want to better yourself, you want to better a situation, it will always tenfold be worth it. It was the best decision that I've ever made, because I just don't think I could still show up for my community and myself if I was so worried about the next happy hour. And I'm just so proud that me putting a glass of wine down to better other people's situation, I don't know, it's just so magical. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? If you guys are feeling stressed, grabbing the wine, what do you need to do? I'll talk to you soon.